All right, we are back with. I wanted to do another updated Delphi murders video, I think. Um, there's been a lot of people talking recently about if the girls were, well, um, not if the girls, but like, well, I think we already know that they were trapped on the bridge. I mean, but were they trapped in the sense that, like, were they led there beforehand? Were they led there beforehand? Did Richard Al did Was there some kind of confrontation with the girls and Richard Allen before the video? Before the Bridge Guy video? And were they lured beforehand with the Anthony Shots account too? Did Richard Allen and the Anthony Shots account have any connection with each other? So that's what I wanted to see what others were talking about with all of that here today. Um, so um, this is by Gray Hughes. Of course, you probably all know who that is. That somebody pointed out to him that the girls seem to already know that they are going to go down the hill, and perhaps that is what the Anthony Shots account told them. Now, there's no evidence of that, but we don't know though what what all he was saying to them. We don't know. I wish we could. I wish. Well, remember Keegan Kline. He deleted a bunch of that stuff, right? Like he got rid of his phone or completely wiped that phone. That would have had a lot of that evidence on it. After figuring out that it very likely doesn't say, well, on the video that like he's got a gun or whatever. No, she's not saying that on there. The full sentence is, that's the path that we go down. So Gray Hughes thinks it makes sense that Richard Allen knew the girls were going to be there via the Anthony Shots, aka Keegan Kline account. I think that's just a. I just think that's an interesting theory. Still, a lot of us thought that from the beginning. Like, it's nothing new. That was talked about at length for years, But there's still no evidence of that. But it just seems like there is a there. It seems like there should. I'll say it seems like there should be a strong connection there that we just can't find. Right. People are saying that even in the newest video that Libby mentions a gun and Abby says, "Oh crap." The tone of her voice gets way down when she says this. It's clear as day. Oh, I'll have to go back and listen to that then. according to somebody here. But a lot of people, think like what Gray Hughes is saying, the strong connection that somehow Richard Allen knew about the Anthony Shots account, knew that the girls were going to be there somehow, and that the Anthony Shots account actually lured them to the bridge. I mean, the person says they think that this is exactly what happened. I says I think he got the info from him and maybe drank the beers on the way to the trails to hype himself up. He went down to the bridge and waited to see if the girls would actually show up, and sadly they did. He probably played it cool when they got to the bridge, maybe even said hello and acted like he didn't care about them, so they left. They felt comfortable still going across. See, I do wonder if there, like I said, if there was some kind of communication between Bridge Guy and the girls before they crossed the bridge, like before they crossed the bridge. That would make a lot of sense. Previously, I was just thinking that they crossed the bridge, and then he was just kind of like lurking around and like waiting to see um, waiting to see if either they or somebody else was going to cross the bridge, and then he could just like trap them there. Like he could just like quickly walk up behind them and trap them back there. That's my theory of what he was trying to do that day. But an interaction could have happened as well. Um, but they seemed really like on the video that they seemed startled when he said guys though, like which one of them was it? Whichever one said, I don't think they said hi. I think they said what. I think they said what, like that, not hi. Like I don't think they said hi. I think they said what because they were startled that he opened his mouth and said guys. Um, so that to me does actually, I don't know. They were either startled or, but they still could have had communication with him before. I just always felt that he was lurking around, waiting by the bridge, um, waiting for um, somebody to cross and for him to trap them that way. That, but they all the witnesses did say he was, walking with a purpose and seemed like he was on a mission and. But that could have just been it. That could have been what he was planning to do. Not that he knew someone was going to be there in particular. But the scenario could have played like that. That he did know in particular that they were going to be there too. That could play right into it too. Both scenarios to me make sense. Sure. There's just no trail to say that he knew that they were going to be there. Like there's no like digital trail or evidence of it. But I wouldn't be surprised if there was. I mean, no, not at all. Not in this case. I wouldn't be surprised. Um, but him knowing that they would be there, it does tie a lot of things together. Sure. the odds of one predator luring them there and a different predator randomly showing up to entrap them seem astronomical. Well, we don't. True. I could go either way on this. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the evidence came back. So if there was some kind of evidence out there that showed that that's what happened. Um, it's a theory that makes sense. Like this, someone says it is one of the few theories that just make a lot of sense. Seems like Libby was looking for a specific area that she was meant to go. Definitely a planned trap. Um, it was planned, but we don't know how planned. We don't know, you know, who was involved in that planning. Um, we don't know, like I said, with both the two scenarios. I still think for now, I still think for now that even though the even with the online involvement, like the online account definitely knew they were going to be at the bridge, but that doesn't mean that that Richard Allen. I was about to say that. I was about to say Arthur Allen, the Zodiac killer suspect, there for a second. I mean Richard Allen. We don't know if he knew though. That's just it. And we don't know if whoever was using the Anthony Shots account, whether it was Keegan that day or not. We don't know if they were around there either that day at that time. We don't know that, right? We don't. That's not really determined. Of course, then there's the whole Ron Logan thing where like his phone pinged in that area, but he lives in that area, so I'm thinking that probably explains that. There's also there's this inmate confession thing about Ron Logan that I find really strange. Maybe I will go over that in another video. I was looking that over a bit last night. Like, um, case still, even with the conviction of Richard Allen and everything, it still feels like there's a whole bunch of rabbit holes. Um, Still a lot of holes in the case. Um, and I say that strongly, still believing that Richard Allen was the bridge guy. I would not be surprised at all if he was not the only one involved. Wouldn't be surprised. Would I be surprised if he wasn't the one? I don't know. Maybe a little bit, yeah. But depends on if that ever happened, if that ever came out that happened, that they found somebody else and it was them instead. I would be surprised, yes. But not like super super surprised just because of all the nefarious people that seem to be involved somehow. I always felt that Keegan Kline was the fisherman, the one who sits there all day trying to catfish little catfish girls. Yeah, yeah. Then he sets the girls up somehow, probably talked about the bridge, maybe challenged them to go across. Is that what, yeah. They probably thought it was so innocent like a day to just go take some pictures and get out of the house, naively giving out their exact location. Ooh. Yeah. It may have been something Klein and Alan talked about if they ever met. You know, there's no evidence of that, that they knew each other. That's the thing. There's no evidence that Richard Allen knew about the account or knew about Klein. Luring girls out to that specific area to isolate them. See, that's my theory. That's what my theory still makes sense. That I know it seems like Klein was directly connected to this somehow, even if he never stepped foot in that park himself. That theory makes perfect sense. Mine does as well. That Richard Allen was he was that day an opportunistic predator waiting for his chance to lure somebody away. Once I think he knew, he planned out what he wanted to do beforehand. And he wanted to trap somebody on the bridge. At the end of the bridge. That's what I think. Something like that. And he was looking for his opportunity to do so. That's my number one theory, and then the next theory is the one people are talking about here, with the knowing that they're going to be there. Klein is connected more with the incident. That's my second, definitely a close second theory. Strong theory for me. Someone who says here, Alan and Klein never met. Yeah, we don't know. There's no evidence of it, that they don't know, But, I mean, the girls may have thought they were meeting Anthony Schatz at the bottom of the bridge. I mean, it's very possible. They passed Richard Allen, got nervous when he started following and closing in on them. Sure. Yeah, Abby was running off the bridge and was anxious, but Libby was kind of casually saying, "This is the path we go down." She seemed kind of nervous too, I thought. I thought they both did. Abby a little more, but I thought they both did. Abby was a little more, though. To this person, it indicated that they planned on meeting someone down there. Richard Allen somehow knew about the meeting spot down the bridge. I don't know. Yeah, see, I just thought that he just um Richard Allen knew about the meeting spot down the bridge. See, I think he didn't. Waited for the girls at the start of the bridge to fall into his trap. That part is what I think happened, though. That second part. First part, I don't think he knew about the meeting. The second part, yes, he was waiting for maybe not them in particular, even though he probably noticed them earlier and was seeing where they were going to go. He was obviously planning this out. But before, they got there, I just don't. There's just no evidence yet of him knowing that they were going to be there. The coincidences with Klein and Allen, I know there's a lot. The connection just right. The connection just cannot be proven. So it's either one or the other. I think Richard Allen just planned it by himself, or he was working in tandem with Klein. They both planned it, and it was just and but in the first theory, this is just a coincidence that they were going to that they were talking to the Anthony Shots account online on their phones, and were like going to meet him there. I mean, it's very possible that man, could have tried to show up. He knew they were going to be there, right? Like that. Klein knew that they were going to be there, I think. Yeah. Okay. So I could see it going either way. If there was any evidence that ever showed up. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about, and to see whatever everybody's recent comments and thoughts are about this. Like I said, a lot of people definitely think that that's likely what happened, and I'm thinking it's just crazy coincidence. I'm thinking the connection is just a crazy coincidence at the moment, but um, I just think that Richard Allen was just looking for any kind of anybody to corner down there at the end of the bridge and trail without conspiring with Klein. Like Klein may have lured them there without even knowing that there would be a Richard Allen character there who might have just been, you know what I mean? Like, might have just been a strong coincidence, and he's like he indirectly lured them there, not knowing that Allen would be out there too. I mean, I wish we knew. I wish we knew. But someone says too many coincidences is not a coincidence. Well, this might just be one of those really strange um, incidences where it is. That's what I'm going with at this moment, at this point. But like, but this is the best the theory though. Otherwise, so I know we could like go on and on with this. It's crazy stuff. Like, um, there's that's what everyone's talking about right now. The connection, a strong, the strong possibility of Richard Allen and and Keegan Klein connection, the Anthony Shots account, luring the girls there that day. Like, it's not just a coincidence, but you know, but Allen somehow knew that they were going to be there. I'm not going that far yet, but I think it's the best alternative theory. Yeah. Um, and then I also say a very distant other theory is that Ron Logan was somehow involved as well. Still, like you can't. I guess you can't really rule him out completely, right? Not completely, but I don't. I still think it's Richard Allen. Um, I think he acted alone, in my opinion. At least that's the, you know. Someone says here, I just can't imagine either Richard Allen or Keegan Kline not ratting each other out. I don't think there's a connection or coordination. This was my first time working up the courage to watch the released video. It's sickening. Yeah, I don't like watching it myself. Um, it makes me hate Alan and his wife even more. Well, his wife doesn't have anything to do with it. He didn't even tell. He didn't even. I don't even think he told her that he was there. His wife's just. I don't want to go into that. I don't want to go into that. Um, I don't like to go into, what family members think and stuff when it doesn't have anything directly to do with the the crime or case. I don't um I don't think any for instance, I don't think any of the girls' family members are involved, or I think that's yeah, I can't, I don't think I can go into that. um I think from what we all know, that's just a little too far out there. I know a lot of people also talk about. I'm not going to even name any name. I'm not going to name any names with that. Let's see. Richard Allen confessed so many times. Why wouldn't he have? Let's see. Why wouldn't he have mentioned Klein? Hmm. Not even once. I agree that the odds of this being just a coincidence is unlikely. However, the only thing that makes me think it is Richard Allen and his 60 plus confessions. You would think one of them would contain part of this theory, so I don't know. I know Richard Allen is definitely guilty, and the right man is in prison. At least one of them. Hmm. Uh, more people, still a lot of people are saying too much coincidence. It's too much of a coincidence for there not to be a connection between Allen and Klein. So, like I said before, a lot of people think that there's a connection. A lot. Now, I still always had a huge issue with there not being enough evidence that Klein was involved as well, though. I've said that before. I still have a huge issue with that. I'm just not ready to say anything definite without further evidence is all. But I find it all highly suspicious and um, definitely likely that there's much more than we know. Definitely likely that there is. Someone says if it weren't for Klein making the Anthony Shots account, this wouldn't have happened. Well, he just wants people to think he was like just a lonely guy wanting to meet girls, but he is a sick monster. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Jesus. So man, glad both of them are behind bars. And I don't know how long Klein has behind bars, but I'm glad Alan's never getting out, I don't think. Not without any evidence to, go his way. Not without any evidence to go his way. And Klein needs to stay behind bars anyway. For all that he's, all the nasty stuff that he's done over the years. He needs to stay behind bars. Let's see. I'll make more videos. It's getting to the 30-minute mark, but I'll make more videos on the Delphi murders again. There's always a lot to go over. I've been doing a number of videos on the Delphi murders and on Mara Murray, the Mara Murray disappearance. Ones that I've followed for a long time, and so I've been invested with those. So, wanted to do a number of videos on, and there's other cases I'm also thinking about doing as well that I've followed for a long time too. Just haven't gotten around to doing them yet, but if you're still with me and interested in more of these videos, definitely follow along next time. Always thank everybody for watching, and I will be back shortly. One more thing before I go, feel free to anything I've discussed here. Definitely feel free to add anything you want to, anything further in the comments below. Always interested to hear more. And I'll be back with more videos here again soon.